This is News Channel 20 at 5.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm John Rieger.
And I'm Stacey Skryzak. We begin with a developing story in Springfield. 2 people killed in 2 separate shootings. Police now calling the recent violence gang-related.
We do have team coverage on the recent shooting deaths. Symphony Sherman is live with community reaction. But first, Joe Cadott joins us outside the Springfield Police Department with the latest on the investigations. Joe?
There have been 2 shooting deaths in less than a 24-hour period in Springfield, and Springfield police say those deaths are likely related to rival gangs in the area. They say last night's shooting of 19-year-old Andre Booker is likely in retaliation to Sheena Malone's death on Tuesday. Now, she was 23 weeks pregnant when police say she was an unintended target of rival gangs. Her baby was born by emergency C-section. No word on the baby's condition. A suspect has not been identified in Malone's death. Police say former Southeast High student Andre Booker was shot just before 7 last night at Comer Cox Park. He died at the hospital less than an hour later. 4 men and a teenage boy were taken into custody after a car chase and foot chase in Leland Grove last night. They all face first-degree murder charges. A 17-year-old boy who police say was with the suspects was taken to juvenile detention. In a statement today, Springfield Police Chief Kenny Winslow says the reckless disregard for life and public safety will not be tolerated. This is a citywide issue that impacts all of us, no matter your age, where you live, or where you work. We are taking a proactive approach, utilizing multiple strategies to combat these incidents of violence. Now, there has been a sharp increase of shooting-related injuries and deaths this year compared to last. In May alone, Springfield police say there have been 34 confirmed shots. In May alone, 14 people struck by gunfire and 3 people killed by gunfire. They say a sharp increase this year compared to last is likely related to those rival gangs that we've been talking about. Live in Springfield, Joe Cadott, News Channel 20.
Residents say they are fed up with the amount of violence happening throughout Springfield. News Channel 20's Symphony Sherman joins us live where a vigil for recent shooting victims has just ended. There's still people milling about. Symphony, what can you tell us?
We're here at Comer Cox Park where dozens gathered in memory of the recent victims of gun violence. I'm joined by Marcus Butler with The Outlet. So tell me, what are your feelings today?
Mostly sadness, but yet encouraged by the people that came out today. You know, he was a very, very nice young man, and it's just hard when stuff like this happens in your community or anywhere. But more so, it just grieves me to know that a young man has lost his life senselessly and over nothing.
So it's a sad day out here. I'm live in Springfield. Symphony Sherman, News Channel 20.
All right, Symphony, thank you so much for that. New developments in yesterday's police-involved shooting in Decatur. Police have now identified the man who was shot as 34-year-old Donald Redman. He's recovering at a local hospital. Police say Redman was armed with a handgun when he was shot by Detective Jeffrey Hockaday 3 times. Police also identified 30-year-old Dallas Vortiz as the other suspect in this incident. He fled on foot but was caught after a chase. Police also found 26 bags of a substance they say is believed to be crack cocaine inside the vehicle. Illinois State Police are still investigating this incident.
Now to political news. President Donald Trump announced the U.S. will be leaving the Paris Climate Accord.
And of course, this has been a subject that split the president's inner circle. Steve Bannon, 22 Republican senators, and numerous conservative groups are in favor of leaving the Paris Agreement. The National Mining Association says the deal hurts coal miners. Now, Trump's economic advisor, Gary Cohn, daughter Ivanka, and her husband, Jared Kushner, have all lobbied that the U.S. stay in with that Paris Accord. But getting out of the agreement was a major campaign promise for Trump.
As of today, the United States will cease all implementation of the non-binding Paris Accord and the draconian financial and economic burdens the agreement imposes on our country.
Under the Paris Climate Accord, more than 190 countries committed to cutting greenhouse gas emissions in an effort to combat climate change. The U.S. now joins Syria and Nicaragua as the only countries not part of the agreement.
Senator Dick Durbin released this statement in response to the president's announcement saying, quote, pulling out of the international agreement to protect this earth from the threat of climate change is a fateful message to our children and our grandchildren. With this announcement, President Trump surrendered our nation's global leadership. This is not America first. This is America last when it comes to the stewardship of this planet.
Former FBI Director James Comey will testify before the Senate next week. The testimony, set for June 8th, involves the investigation into possible coordination between the campaign of President Trump and Russian officials. A source tells CNN Comey is expected to address his private conversations with Trump, where he reportedly asked Comey to end his investigation into Michael Flynn.
The Illinois budget. As Illinois enters a third year without a budget, the state's credit rating has now been downgraded twice today by S&P and Moody's. It is the 7th and 8th credit downgrades in just 28 months, which started back in February of 2015, and that is when Governor Bruce Rauner took office. This credit downgrade comes on the heels of lawmakers not passing a budget yesterday. The official end of their legislative session, of course, was at midnight. Instead of adjourning for the summer now, both the House and the Senate called continuous sessions, meaning they'll continue working. News Channel 20's Rachel Droz is live at the Capitol with reaction from Illinois' comptroller. Rachel?
John, Illinois' credit rating has been downgraded now 8 times in 28 months. Comptroller Susana Mendoza saying this lack of budget is, quote, unconscionable. The stack of unpaid bills continues to grow, now reaching $14.5 billion as we wrap up day 701 with no budget. Mendoza says it's time for lawmakers and Governor Rauner to pass and sign a budget for the people of Illinois.
At any moment, our office is going to actually owe more money in court-ordered payments than there is actually money allowed to meet those court orders. So pretty soon, the Office of Comptroller will have to be in a position where we ask the courts, which court-ordered mandated payments will we not have to pay?
The House Appropriations Committee is scheduled to meet next Thursday in Chicago to continue hearing testimony on budget legislation. Now, both the Senate presidents and the House Speaker's directors of communications tell me that lawmakers will be called back for session once there's something new to advance to Governor Rauner's desk. Live at the State House, Rachel Droz, News Channel 20.
Thank you, Rachel. New at 5, the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum will no longer be run by the Illinois Historic Preservation Agency. The state Senate unanimously approved a plan late yesterday to make it a separate state agency. Governor Rauner's administration says the move saves over $3 million, and under the plan, a board will oversee the museum's operations, replacing separate boards that currently help oversee it.
Turning to weather right now, and Chief Meteorologist Cheryl Lemke. All in all, a decent day again.
Yeah, it turned out to be another picture-perfect day. Lots of sunshine across central Illinois, pleasantly warm temperatures. Again, really no complaints whatsoever about today's weather. Here's our latest live tower cam now out of the capital city. And pretty much what you see is what you'll be getting. Lots of sunshine out there, and again, some very, very comfortable temperatures. Here's our latest live Doppler radar. We're pretty much cloud-free and rain-free all through central Illinois. And again, it's not just Springfield, it's all through the mid-Illinois area. Just some beautiful weather to wrap up the rest of your day. As we look ahead then for this evening, looking at fair skies across the board, and temperatures still pretty mild out there. Lower 80s around 7 o'clock. Eventually, though, slipping into the mid-60s, though, right before midnight. But I do foresee a big warm-up coming our way. It's going to be getting warmer and much more humid as well. Coming up, I'll let you know just how warm it's going to get for the upcoming weekend. Your complete forecast coming up in just a few minutes. And with all this sunshine, it's a good time to head over to the Illinois Product Farmers Market. Meteorologist Joe Crane joins us live now from the State Fairgrounds with more. Hey, Joe, what's happening?
Absolutely, Cheryl, you called it wall-to-wall sunshine across the capital city and all over central Illinois. Pleasantly warm. The humidity is low. It is absolutely gorgeous to come out to the Illinois State Fairgrounds this week until 7 o'clock tonight for the weekly Illinois Product Farmers Market. As we like to say, it's a street festival disguised as a farmers market. We've got music on the Lincoln stage. We've got Illinois craft beers. We've got Illinois wines, a variety of Illinois homegrown products, including fruit and vegetables, meats, cheeses. You name it, it's all out here. Not one, but 2 food trucks, including one that's all about desserts. We'll meet those folks in just a moment right here on News Channel 20 at 5.